Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching Nile Cruise on Nile TV, dear viewers. And in this segment, Shem Nisim is an old spring festival celebrated by the Egyptians since 2700 BC, the third dynasty of the Old Kingdom. The festival is related to the agricultural background of the ancient Egyptians. The name Shem Nisim, or inhaling the breeze, is derived from the Coptic language, which was derived from the ancient Egyptian language. The original pronunciation is, I'll let our guest pronounce it, which means, dear viewers, the garden meadows. Nisim or Shem Nisim is usually a national holiday marking the beginning of spring and coming after Easter. And in this context, dear viewers, we have a very special guest, Rana Ihab, an Egyptologist, which will tell us more. Rana, a very good day, and it's a pleasure always to have you with us in every episode of Nile Cruise, Rana.
Thank you, dear. I'm always happy to be here with you, with your beautiful smile. Actually, I like it to be here
Thank
all
you so
the
much.
time.
Rana, what is the pronunciation
The pronunciation of
of Shem Nisim, the original
Shimu, Shimu, and
Shimu,
and
Shimu.
exactly, exactly. Shimu mean the harvest season in the ancient Egyptian. So, and we will talk about more details about Shem Nisim in the ancient Egyptian time, how it started, why they are starting even Shem Nisim in general.
Okay, Rana, the rituals and beliefs associated, of course, with today's Shem Nisim celebrations link it directly to ancient Egyptian feasts. Would you tell us more, please?
Actually, as you mentioned, Shem Nisim started before thousands of years ago in ancient Egypt, when, especially in the third dynasty, or we start to recognize they have a festival in the third dynasty. Festivals in general in Egypt, we have more 50 or 40 festivals, religion and different seasons, but the special one is Shem Nisim. Why especially Shem Nisim is special? Because till this moment we still celebrating of Shem Nisim. Some people taking the first hours from the beginning of Shem Nisim day, from the sunrise until the sunset, they are celebrating and doing festivals and worship to the god. Then after they finished, they started with their happiness, and that they start to eat, they start to talk with each other, gathering together. And this is one of the special things. If we talk about Shem Nisim, it's not related to religion. It's related to the Egyptian traditions and culture in general. After Egypt become a Christian Egypt, the Coptic, they arrived and they said, we need to move the Shem Nisim after we have our eating, the old thing, dismiss our fasting, then we start to eat everything related to Shem Nisim. So before that, when they starting in ancient Egypt, they actually looking for the northern side in the Great Pyramid at Giza. Then they start to looking at the sun. Then they are starting to celebrate. Why they are celebrate? This is the end of winter season, and now we are starting the harvest season, the spring season in general, which is an ancient Egyptian the harvest season. For that reason, it's called Shimu, Shimu, and this is here also the beginning of the spring season. Then after the end of the season, after a couple of weeks, then we start our new season, which is the summer one. So this is a happiness. The seeing the flowers is opening, the tree itself back to its original color, the green. So for that reason, it's called Shem Nisim. Like you mentioned, it's the smelling the breeze itself.
Okay, Rana, much like Easter, the festival deals with notions of creation and renewal. Your say.
About that, in the beginning, in the ancient Egyptian time, they are doing this for a regional reason. The regional reason, as we mentioned, they considered in their traditions and their beliefs that the universe itself, the whole universe is started to be an egg. So this egg is an exoblur. So for this exploring, it happens all these, creating all of these galaxies and plants and all of that. For that reason, they considered the time of a spring or the Shem Nisim, the beginning of the creation. The people start to be on the earth from this time. The world itself start to be from this time. It's a spring because it's amazing and it's different. It's not in the winter and we are freezing. It's the summer. It's very hot, but it's and the spring in the center, in the middle. So everything we have to do as a human in general should be middle, not black, not blue. So all right. So for that reason, here this is dated back to the renewable things, dated back to the idea of the creation itself.
Okay, Rana, how ancient Egyptian celebrated this day, and has celebrating this day changed since ancient Egyptians?
As we mentioned, it's in the time of the ancient Egyptian, it's supposed to be in March, not in April. So they moved that to be in April to finish all our feasts and do this stuff, to eat the fish. Because if we looking for the stories and the history during all of that time, the Egyptian, when they start to become a Christian, they loved the Egyptian traditions. For that reason, they want to do this festival. From this time and from this moment, the Egyptian celebration, it changed according to the culture it's in the Egyptian land at this moment. So they doing the same things like eating different kind of food, fish and eggs and a lot of these things. In ancient time, they are doing the same by salted fish, especially how they dry that and how they eat, especially in the offering table and the system.
Okay, of course, you answered. In your answer, you mentioned fish. This brings us to a very important topic, which is the fasikh, or the salted fish, that, of course, is associated or related to Sham al-Nisim, Rana. Would you tell us the story of fasikh or salted fish?
If we are talking about the third dynasty and the old kingdom itself, we didn't found any fish in the offering table that offered. Why? Because they thought that fish didn't have this good smell, so I will not put it in the offering table front of the god. So we are taking the time in the year to feast, and we want to eat fish because Egypt is rich of its river and seas also. So the Egyptians like fish too much. They know around 5,000 knowing different kinds from the fish in the river and in the sea. So they like actually to eat fish. And yes, we have an ovens from the ancient Egyptian time. We have also a barbecue things, all of these. But they prefer to eat fish salted, actually. And till this moment, all of the Egyptians like the fasikh or eat the fasikh. They dried fish without doing any kind of heat or freeze or something. They put it on the sun and they put the salt on it, cover it with the salt, then they eat it. Why? Actually, this is a kind of food. Like, for example, any different cuisine in the world, we will find like a Japanese one, the sushi. So we eat sushi without doing something with that. So what is the idea behind eating fasikh, the dried fish, and with salt? It's completely delicious.
Okay, another traditional Sham al-Nisim practice is coloring of eggs, of course. Which reflects the ancient Egyptian view of eggs as symbolic of new life. How ancient Egyptians used colored eggs to ask gods to answer, God of course, to answer their wishes.
This is related to the beliefs. When we said at the beginning, they have the part from this day celebrating Sham al-Nisim, they are worshipping to the god and doing their wishes. Like the colors, why eggs, especially eggs, as it's related to the point of the universe or related to the point of the creation, and making them colors because of the spring itself and the colors of the flowers and the trees and everything beautiful we have in that time. Doing their wishes on it, because they want to deliver a message in this day, and they asking God to achieve their wishes and achieve their asking. For that reason, they doing that because they actually worship the God. So from being that we are celebrating God, but we don't forget, please, our wishes. And here is that mean even we are in the festival, Egyptian people is related to their gods, to their traditions, and they love to doing all of that all the time.
Okay. The habit of eating onions on the feast day is equally ancient. What is the legend beyond this habit?
Actually, this is one of the most important item in the Sham Nisim table from the ancient time. So now the table is clear with fsikh and salted fish and egg. If we're looking for the onions or the green onion itself, because the onion, the red one and the white one, actually we didn't have this type in the Egyptian land, but we have the green one in the Egyptian land. This is a special one. So as we eat it, the salted, they supposed to be have some things not good in that time. So we add an onion to kill anything bad could happen in our stomach. And also this is green onion in the ancient Egyptian thoughts, it's about the fertility. So for this reason they love onions so much, they eat it so much, and actually it's finally appeared in the offering tables. One of the most important items should be in the festivals in general, and when you eat that mean you are strong. If you eat an egg, especially, or boiled egg, that mean you believe in the idea of renewable. You want to renew everything in your life. And if you eat the salted fish, that mean you love the fish, and you create some different cooking idea for it. So this is the most offering table. Actually, what's happened with the boiled egg in general, we have people here living in villages and in Upper Egypt, they didn't like to eat boiled egg and onion in the summer because of its smell. So this is from the ancient Egyptian time. They waiting for the Sham Nisim or the springtime to eat onion and to eat the boiled egg. From the ancient time until this moment, we have those kind of people in villages and also in Upper Egypt.
Okay, Rana, as the Spring Festival or Sham Nisim this year is associated with Ramadan, how will people eat this salted fish, or it's not, people are not gonna?
Actually, this is one of our traditions. So if we are going through the homes and houses here, we will find they are insist to eat the fish, even it's in Ramadan, as the beginning, because this is the Egyptian tradition. It's not related to a kind of religion or something. Egyptian people, because they are very smart in understanding the calendars, they are very smart to understand the astronomy in general. So this time, the beginning of the new season, of the new chapter, so we need to know, or we need to feast for that. Our ancestors doing that, and we will keep it till the end of this life. So that means Egypt is fine, and all the people, even they are Jewish, Christian, and Muslims, all of them, they love their traditions, they respect it, and they will eat in Ramadan.
Consider them to be holy, and why?
Egyptian garden is full of flowers, full of trees, full of a lot of things. Actually, we have thousands of doctorates and the PhD and masters talking about one flower and the herbs in general. Ancient Egyptian thoughts the plants is a holy when they are using in something. Like, for example, we have the most known items that we have the lotus flower and the papyrus flower. The lotus flower is a sample for the pure. Why actually the pure? Because the flower itself, if any dust come on it or any instead, they doing a kind of material, they dismiss this dust or this ancestor from the flower. For that reason, it's a symbol for the pureness. If from any scenes in the tombs in the ancient Egyptian, when we looking at the flowers they offered the lotus flower because it's the symbol for the pure. Coming with a papyri or the papyrus in general, we are using the papyrus to write on it. We're using the papyrus to tell the people about the history, about the legacy that ancient Egyptian left, actually, about the religion, about a lot of things and a lot of topics. For that reason, it's considered one of the holy. We need to respect it. The holy thing, it's we need to respect it. It's not using in something or in herbs. Also, we used to for the medicine stuff, to doing a lot of things. This is a kind of holy plants and flowers in ancient Egypt.
Rana Ihab, Egyptologist. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you very much for your additional information. Of course, between ancient Egyptians and Egyptology, which you always come and tell us more about and more about ancient Egyptians and archaeology in Egypt. And today about Shem Nissim and mingling both topics together. We always thank you for your informative knowledge. Thank you very much for being with us. Wishing you, of course, a very wonderful Shem Nissim and a wonderful Eid as well. Thank you very much.
Dear. Thank you.
Well, dear viewers, this is the segment of Narcos. Stay tuned. We have more today. Don't go away.